Hello everybody and welcome back to a new episode of the TypeScript Tea Time. I'm your host Mirko and hope you have an awesome day today. How is everybody doing? Are you doing well? We're going to continue on our nice little daily questions app that we have. And yesterday we went on to actually customizing the question that we get every day. So this is the basic screen. You have the name of your question or the title, the actual question, did I do my best to set clear goals today? And then you just give yourself a number like, let's say I give myself a 9. And yeah, with that, you continue through your questions. The basic idea is you ask these questions, answer them properly every day. And it's basically a very small retrospective every day to improve yourself. Or at least not get worse. Highlight, do a stream, let's say. And one thing I want to do better, get the intro rockin'. And then we have a summary and we can actually share. Confirm and share. All right. And what we wanted to do was to actually change these questions that we can have or allow them to be customizable. For that, yesterday we pretty much added this, first of all, this new screen where we have a list of all our questions. So the goals questions you can see here again. We can also now add a new question and it gets added, as you can see down here. This engagement question is actually new. And I think that's pretty much where we stopped. We did make some plans on what we want to do next. One thing being deleting and archiving, the other one being sorting. So we allow them to be draggable. Tap the question in the list to go to details. This is probably what I want to do next. Details, edit screen. And this is the same. Okay, yeah, that's the actual implementation. This is the navigation. Deleting and or archiving. It's probably part of the details or the edit screen. Sort the questions. That's a draggable. And use the questions from the store in the dailies and other screens. This is probably what we do last. Which links then everything up, and this means we're completely in production and we change things. And I only want to have this once I can actually delete stuff, at least, because otherwise people add their stuff. Yeah, otherwise people add new questions and then they cannot go back essentially, which would be kind of annoying. So let's get to this. Yeah, probably first the edit screen and then we do the navigation in between. I did it right before the stream. I actually did a minor refactor. So we have now 4 to 5 parts of the app, and they match exactly the navigation, incidentally. Because that's exactly one slice of functionality that belongs together with a little bit of globalness, particularly the store being the global part, and the history, which basically is just part of the store, in fact. Yeah, so questions is now the stuff that we see here on the customized questions. And the other one, the actual dailies, are now called dailies, as they are also called in here. All right, so next one. So let's add a new screen, which is an edit question screen, let's say. .tsx. React probably can just copy the add new question screen. But instead it receives some properties, probably. rename this into edit questions screen. And then we're good on that front. We now receive some properties here. We want to receive the title. We want to receive long or question long, what I usually called it. So I should probably rename it here. Question long. That question long. Okay, let's revert that because otherwise I get into trouble. Duplicate naming. And then the type. And probably also the ID. Because you always need the ID. So from here, we can tell it what type it is. And the type is exactly a question, I think. Is it not called question? The nav question. There it is. Export interface question. From there. Title is doubled. Edited title. Edited title. Edited type. Set. Edited type. There we go. And here we can say edited question long and set edited question long. Then it stays consistent. Everything's good. We need to use them. Currently it has apparently changed the names. So we probably don't even want to add question, we want to change question. So this has to be changed anyway into something like edit question. And then we give it the title, we give it question long, we give it type, which is edited type, we give it the ID, and the ID is the identifier to actually notice, okay, this is the question that we want to change. So now we have to use the proper title here. There it is. Value should be this. And type. Also down here, edited type. So you, my friend, we have some different default states, because in this case we want to immediately, of course, show the name of the question that we clicked on. So we click goals, and then we have this screen, but it says here goals, and it says here, did I do my best to set clear goals today? Question mark. That's what we want to achieve. So we have to set the default state to the one that is given from outside, from the previous component from the list. And edited question long becomes question long, and the original edited type becomes the type. All right. Edit question probably becomes edit. Add question probably becomes edit question. Then I think we can do this. We can do something like that. Now we just have to define it. Inside of here, like add question receives a complete question, and then we have to say to do implement at this point, I think. Import it. Come on. Didn't export it. Yeah. We have to export this function as well. So there we go. Now we have it, and we have it linked up. Very nice and easy. And now, don't know where I have all of this side of here, and I probably have it here as well because I just copied that part. Let's remove the dead code. Just confusing to have it. And now, are we done already with this component? No, has to probably say save edits or save changes. Something like that. Boom, boom. Anything else? I think that's it. That new question is now save edits, save changes. Let's call it save edits. Here we say save changes, because this is the stuff that actually gets shown to the user. I think changes is a better word, probably. Not sure though. All right. With that done, we don't need prefixed. Don't need prefixed. We don't have any. These. Oh, now that I think about it, we don't have any. We allow empty questions and stuff, right? So that's probably one thing that we have to take care of. Is allow empty question title in add and edit question screens. One thing that we can do later. It's not that important, I don't think. So we have this. Now we have to link it up, I think. I think we can make a check mark. Details edit screen for each question. Done. We now have to link it to from the list. Question list. We have a list item here already. So I suppose what we can do is something like on tap, on blur, not on press, equals. Yeah, on press. Let's see. We need some navigation here. So go to edit question. Is what we wanna do. This is a function which does something. So let's try it very, very quickly. First of all, down here on the left we see the stuff. Yeah, perfect. That seems to be working. And now we have to actually implement it. So for that we use the navigation again that we get via useNav. And now we have to provide questions navigation props here, which we already have apparently. Yeah, down here we already used that. And then we can say in here we do nav.push. Oh, does it only take? Does it not take any properties? Ah, params. Okay, yeah. That's what I want to see. So, edit question. and we want to pass on properties which are the title, the question long, and the ID and the type. ID being probably the most important one, in fact. Is that it? Title, long, type. Yeah. So now we have to add this one to the navigation, because currently the navigation does not know about anything concerning added question. Questions navigation. We want a new stack. Call it edit question. We probably have to edit it there as well. But let's do that in a minute. Currently the typing says, oh, this does not even exist. It's not assignable to key of question stack param list. Well, now it is. And we can even say the parameter of this should be question. Which means type here, which means that this is now typed even. And maybe, yeah, we even see here in push, this should now not work. We say, well, add this edit question screen on top of it and give it all of these parameters. Oh, but you forgot to add title. Very nice. I love that. Type safety here. Setting up the typing for React Native navigation is not trivial, unfortunately. Yesterday I was complaining about it, in particular because it's in a completely separate part of the documentation. But once you have it, it actually works fairly well. I mean, look at it. Well, this one seems to be fairly okay-ish, but in the documentation it was much more complicated. So we have that one, and I think we're done. It works not quite. Well, we do go to the right place. It doesn't show the right stuff. These are all empty. Add a question screen. Oh, maybe it initializes it with all of these being empty. Could that be? Could that be? I'm not sure. Maybe. Just maybe. Here's my guess. Do we have a snippet for that? Snippet. First. Second. Third. Okay. So here's my best guess. We can do something like this. And that. And that. We don't return anything. But what we do is we add all of those to the function retrigger. So what I think is happening is this function gets first initiated, or this screen gets first initiated by React navigation without all of these parameters. It's my guess currently. Without any of these parameters. And that's why all of these are empty, is what I think. And then, so because we use state, this initial state is empty. And then title changes, but because we are using use state, it does not get re-triggered. It already has the state initiated, so it does not override it with title again. Which means this edited title was never set to goals. But now we basically, so after it was initially rendered without any properties, I think we just set it. So it once it was rendered without anything, React Native Navigation puts in all of these properties, and that's where we call this function. And since these are not changing once the screen was properly initiated, this will not be called again, because they don't change. These three don't change in between. Let's see whether that works. No. Okay, I was wrong. Too bad. Did I save properly? Reload the app just to be safe. Navigation app. Send me to customize questions. It doesn't work. Down. Why not? Do we not get console.log title undefined? Okay, that's not great. React Native Navigation. We want to have properties, props, navigation props. Is that it? Set params. So here they have navigate to profiles, and I give you all of these props. Params to pass to the destination route. That sounds exactly like what we want. And I would have expected that we did exactly that. Down here. Do push, and then it receives the parameters. But apparently it doesn't. Do we have navigation.params maybe? Somehow we can inject inside of here navigation prop maybe? Is that it? That params? No, that's probably not it. How do I use this? Reset. So if you have any ideas or know where to find it in the documentation, feel free to chime in. Always open to that. Or if there are completely different ideas you have, also feel free. Just saying hello is nice also. Navigation context, navigation state maybe? Routes, index. Type. React Native, native navigation, receive props in screen. Access the navigation props from any component. That's not quite what we want, I think. Yeah, it's not quite what we want, because this one we know how to do, right? Options for screens, maybe that one? Nope. Don't think that's it. Route props. Nope. We basically want dynamic properties, right? Make changes to routes, params. Do we? Maybe. Well, let's try this for a second. We do something like ... rest, and we just log all the rest. Maybe there is something inside of that. JSON.stringify, comma null, comma 2. There. So we receive the route property, and inside of there we have params, and inside of there, oh man, we have the stuff that we actually want. So we have to use the route prop. Can we do that? Route and route prop? Question? Maybe like so. Param list base. Type source target. Oh no, yeah. String on object. No, string and an object. Not totally sure. So React Native navigation. Route prop, TypeScript, route. Switching on back my music. Oh yeah. Let it swing. Type checking screens. To type check our screens, we need to annotate the navigation prop and the route prop received by the screen. You can use this one, and then it's native stack screen props. Something like this, apparently. We don't have native stack, we have just stack. And we can remove that one. This one should exist somewhere. Root stack is not what we want. We want to have the question stack. Param list. Yeah. Param list. And inside of there, we use edit question. No, what have I done? So. And now we should be able to access route. And from route, we can use params. Oh, and there we go. Look at it. It's beautiful. Const is equal to. So we want title, we want, not working. Title, we want ID, we want question long, and we want type. Not happy that this is a line, yeah, before the use stuff, but well, I suppose that's how it is at this point. Hey, it works now. Edit question, improvement. Did I do my best? Type. Now you are full text. Points. Yay! Did it. Good job. Just noted that we need to update our to-do list, yeah. Refresh. To-dos. So that you are also aware, and new people that come in are actually aware of what we are doing. Custom questions. All right. Thank you, documentation. Then I think we can use edit question from there. We have to implement it, of course. So we I think what we can do is we use the index const index is equal to find me the index with that ID exactly. Perfect, 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 perfect. And then we say state.questions at position index is now the payload. Babs. And that should actually do it. If I remove this and say, did I do my best to make myself better? Save. Now, do we see it? There it is. Did I do my best to make myself better? Sweet! It's that simple. Oh yeah. Yeah, by the way, I'm not listening to the music currently that I'm playing on stream. The stream music is just so that it's not completely silent from time to time. I listen to something else. Also because I've listened enough to the other one. So that seems to be working pretty well. Now, one more thing. One more thing. Wait, first of all, let's check our to-do list. Tap the question in the list to go to details, edit screen. It's now called edit screen, so let's change it in documentation as well here. Of that question. Done. Advance. You are now called edit screen. Done. So we don't want to commit you. We do want to commit you. This is just a cleanup. Then we have our edit question screen, which looks good. Two. One thing that I would like is that all of these are actually just types. We don't have that dependency. Well, we don't have that dependency anyway, now that I think about it. It shouldn't there be? Ah, this one. Type. I think there's also the other day somebody showed me something with strict function exact. Assume changes only import something. Imports not used as values. Was it that one? TypeScript. Pause use of type import. TypeScript compiler. Type only imports. Is that one? Type only imports. Function types? No, that's not it. There was a setting, a types compiler setting, I think, that it automatically imports with type if it's just a type. Isolated modules. This is probably not it, I don't think. Import type. TSConfig. Not here. TSConfig. Type only import. When combined with isolate modules, import types must be marked as type only. Is that it? No. Okay, I can't find it. But there is a way, I'm pretty sure. Imports not used as value. This flag takes 3 different values. Remove, this is today's behavior of dropping these imports. All imports. That's not what we want. This one basically says that when you emit the JavaScript, is the import still there or not? Yeah, specify emit, checking behavior for imports that are only used for types. Yeah, that's not what we want. We actually want to force all of those that are actually only types to be used with type. But apparently, well, on compile time, it removes them anyway, apparently. So I suppose we're good anyway. All right. That makes things easy, I guess. So this one looks good. This one we changed. We added it to the navigation list. We did write the reducer, and it seems to be working. Very nice. And while this is Redux, since it's using the IML library, we can actually write it with just state changes. Well, it looks like code that changes the value of state or the subproperties, but it's actually not. It's actually emitting a new a new object, and state is never changed, which is like for my head, but it seems to be working. We can navigate. We even have type checks, and we added the screen. So this is a feature indeed. Questions. Added question. Screen. Bams. Done. Next up is we want to delete or archive a question. So what's the difference? First of all, deletion means we get rid of it completely. We don't even have a reference to it anymore. The problem that I have with this is that since we're having a history, and the history is just the list of all the stuff that ever happened with references to the questions, because we have this, and the references mean it's just an ID. If you look at the history here, we have the questions, and it has an ID, which is a question ID. The problem is that if we get rid of the question inside of our questions list, we have an orphaned ID in here, which might get us into trouble. That's where the archival comes into play. So instead of getting rid of it completely, we just kind of hide it. And it's still there, but not really. With that approach, we can still render the text as if absolutely necessary. but we don't break anything. Then again, is that necessary? Probably yes, huh? Thinking about it. Otherwise we might get into trouble. One more thing that I noticed just now is uniqueness of question IDs. Needs to be preserved. I'm not sure about the deletion thingy. What's the best way to solve this problem? What do you guys think? The problem that we have is that if we really delete it, the history becomes inconsistent. On the other hand, if we don't really delete them, where do they go? If we only archive them, shall they be displayed in this list? Or where? Okay, I gotta think about this one. Think. So, keeping it simple would mean probably deletion. The problem that I have with deletion is that once this is actually used and somebody has a history and I want to change the behavior after somebody has a history, we get into trouble. Because I cannot change their data on their device, of course, with just my code. Otterfoot, welcome. I think there should be a separate archive place where they can check everything they archived, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. It seems to be. So first of all, thank you for your opinion. It's very, very useful. Yeah, having that second opinion now pushes me a lot into the let's add an archive. Maybe it could be accessible from up here or something. Currently we don't display the header. So if we just add the header, maybe we can add a button here and instead then go to archive. We also need to change the color, I think. So that means let's go with an archive. Thanks again for the opinion. Very useful. Let's go with an archive. It's pretty much the same list, right? Pretty much the same list, except we have everything has one more property, whether it's archived or not, or it's a separate store alternatively. But I think we can get. Can we get away? We could get away with always filtering, and then using a selector to always only get those questions that are actually active most of the time. Is that even? Yeah, that's probably possible, right? Redux toolkit RTK selectors. So create selector as a utility from reselect. How do we expose those now? Entity adapter that get selectors. Jesus Christ. React Redux hooks using memoized selectors. Yeah, something like this. And then we say use selector, give me all the active questions, kind of. Inside of the app. That should be okay. But they use it slightly different. Do they have an example where they use connect? Connect. Connect, blah, 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 connect, blah, blah. I don't want to use selector in this case. Why? I don't know. Old habits die hard, kind of. The existing connect API still works. I don't want to use the hook. Because I'm in the hook thing. RTK selectors. RTK React Redux, I think. React Redux selectors connect. Maybe? Connect selector. Make map state. Oh, Jesus Christ. That looks terrible. Okay, it should be possible. Let's keep this short. It should be possible. So that means we add another page for archival. Let's write this down. For now, we archive a question from edit screen. And I think we do the archive screen in a separate task, I would say. The actual unarchiving and the list. And for now we want to use show only active questions in questions list. Something like that. So that means we go to the questions slice, and inside of the question, so currently nobody, we can still change this in the sense of we don't have any trouble with legacy data. So we call this active, archived, active, I would say active, Boolean, and by default these should be true. Well, apparently we do it from outside. Let's take our default questions here and we say active true for each one of these. Active is a Boolean. Active true. Come on. Active true. Good. GitHub Copilot being a bit slow. Oh, by the way, have you noticed GitHub Copilot is about to start the paid plan? I think in 60 days or something. So GitHub Copilot is an AI pair programmer. Essentially, as you can see, we get amazing auto-completion. Let's say for here we say delete question, and then I just hit this one and it writes all the code for me. and now I just have to think about, well, is that actually correct? And then yeah, I pretty much have this amazing auto completion which actually starts thinking for me and comes up with different solutions than I would in particular. And we were actually allowed to join this from the very beginning, I think. It was a lot of fun. We had, I think at one point we actually created like fake Shakespeare poems, Shakespeare-like poems with the help of GitHub Copilot. And they are going into actually paid plan with $10 a month soon, which is a bit sad. I gotta admit, I would like to use it more for free. It is amazing, by the way. It also might have some privacy issues, so be aware of that. It has a free plan though, for 60 days, I think. So, where were we? Forgot. We added everything set everything to active. I think we have some more TypeScript errors now, most likely. So running the compiler here, TSC --no emit. For example, in here we see all of that fun stuff. Autofood, welcome to our tea time.
Autofood joined our tea
Cheers.
time.
This tea is for you. Isn't it beautiful? This green tea with a bit of matcha. Cheers. Also, you're gonna need to pay for it if you want to keep using it. Yeah, unfortunately. It's 60 days free from now on, so they notified me earlier today, being like, oh, you gotta activate it. And then they have a very, very big button, insert your credentials or pay now, and then down below, a very small line, like, use it without providing your credit card credentials. And after I fiddled around with it 5 minutes, I finally noticed, oh, there's this don't pay button. Of course, clicking that one. So we provide active here as well. Oops. Yeah. Have you tried it? Did you have your fun time with it? Why do we actually provide this as... I mean, we can just say this, right? Question. Done. At least for now. We're good with this. So, where else do we have issues? That one seems to be alright. Here we have one more. Active. Since we are editing an active question here, actually we just provide active from what we got, I think. We don't need to change it. There we go. Active. Not yet. We're thinking about trying it, but haven't gotten around to it. Maybe I'll try the free trial. Yeah. It's scary. It is scary in a sense. When I was first trying to use it, it was like, future is now. It can be fairly scary of what it is able to do. And as I said, be aware that from time to time, don't use it on too private data, or at least, or if you want to do it on too private data or confidential data, at least read the data privacy stuff carefully, and maybe talk to your legal department if you do it for a company. Because like leaking customer data to Microsoft, so GitHub is part of Microsoft, right? Can be an issue, in particular if you're in the EU, it gets even more troublesome. Or if you're in California, California also has fairly strict privacy laws by now. I think they were even faster than the EU. But the EU, of course, is a larger scale. And being an EU citizen, I noticed the EU laws more than California laws most of the time. More TypeScript issues, errors that we have to fix. There's one more. Apparently we have to provide active here. And this one just is true. So this is the add new question screen. We add a new question. Well, and we don't want to add an archive question. That doesn't make sense. So we just provide true here. We could also do it on the other end, but then I get into trouble with the typing. So we could do it inside of the Redux reducer, which is here, and say something like action, or let's say state dot question less position dot active is true. That would also work, but then I get into trouble with the TypeScript typing, and I don't want to. It doesn't save me anything if I do it here or if I do it there. So it might be, from a logic perspective, you might want to disallow anything that's unactive, like in the central place. So that would make sense, or that would justify why you want to put it into the reducer instead, into your store, into your global store. But well, it won't be called from anywhere else, I don't think so. I think we should be fine. So I think that's it on that front. Now TypeScript should be happy again. Happy TypeScript! Yay! Yes, perfect. So that one being done, we don't want to commit you, because here I'm just, this is a navigation app. I just want to, if I reload the app, I just set the default route to immediately go to where we're actually developing. Because I'm lazy. I don't want to do the navigation all the time. So we have all of these. We have this active now. We have active in the store, in the state. We have a list item here now being slightly smaller, and we also pass the active flag over to add a question. And I do want to enable this one for now. So that means everything is active now. And the next thing that I want to do is go to edit question screen and do kind of contained here. And now color, background color. Is it color maybe? If I do red here, yeah, that works. So I want this to be theme.colors.error. And where does this theme come from? Well, we can say use theme from React native paper. Const theme is equal to this. And now TypeScript is happy. And now this one becomes kind of scary looking. Here we can say archive question. We can say archive question down here. Const archive question is a function which does stuff. Save for now. We also need a margin, I think. Yeah, that's better. So let's think here for a second. You probably want the confirmation that you actually do want to archive it for real. The way to do this, so let's first finish implementation, and then we add on top of that the confirmation. So archive question, we probably want to call something like archive archive, I don't know, this question, and then we can archive question of ID. And this one now comes, I want to have it come from Redux again, so from the store essentially. Like that. We add something to the reducer, a new reducer, which receives again an action, and shall we do it like this? Probably is better, right? For explicitness. Import you. Archive question, and now it receives an ID, or an object with an ID. So then we can say, well, exactly the same stuff that we have here. except that we say, well, give me the question at that index dot active is false. That's it. False. If we do it more, we could also say set instead. And we could also use edit, in fact, but no, I think we're good. This is fairly expressive, so let's do it like that. Do we need this? I think we can just do find, right? And then we have here the question. That should do the trick as well. Because we get hopefully the object. You exist. Well, do you exist? You do exist. Does it work? I forgot to save. That makes sense. So now we click here, and I guess it worked. At least it didn't crash. Maybe in the questions list we can do something like we have this reorder. So let's say if this is active, then do a reorder, otherwise just so that we can see something. Otherwise do, I don't know, numeric. Are they all inactive? Oh, did I set it to false by default? No, right? Because I still have state on my development. I already had state, and it was persisted in particular, which means the value for archive is currently undefined for each one. So if we actually do, this one is undefined. Yeah, if it's undefined, then render it horizontal. So all of these are actually undefined. Only this one is actually defined. That's why. Okay. This won't be a problem for the people that actually receive the app, because currently nobody has, in particular me, I'm the only user at this point. They don't even have the questions state in the slice. And because they don't have it, it will go inside of here and pick the default questions, and they have active true set. So we don't get into legacy problems, but we do have legacy problems kind of on my phone right now, which we can, I think, fix by doing the following. I hope. Can we? How can I? Info? Maybe, just maybe. can clear the cache and the storage right here. And if we now restart it, we hopefully have an empty app. Yeah, that seems to be the case. In particular, I see this because, well, it's the... Oh. Oh. Oh, it froze. That's not good. That's not ideal. By the way, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. Something's broken, it appears. Device not found. Close the device, maybe. No, everything broke. P-grab emulator. P-kill -9 emulator. So I'm force killing the emulator now. So hoping that it starts up again at some point. That seems to have worked. At least somewhat. Oh boy. So send it over there. Come on, you can do it. Please don't explode again. Please don't explode. Reload, just to be safe. Hello, friend. Yeah, hello there. Go into dark mode, because it's nicer for our eyes. And we're back, I think. These are the default questions. In particular, we don't have the engagement question now. Okay, I think we're good again. So now each one of these actually has an active, and I think it's true. Yeah. So each one of these is actually active now. Perfect. All right, now we can remove this one again. In fact, I don't think we actually need this, because we're going to switch the library anyway in a couple of minutes. All right. Now, we also saw that archive question actually works, meaning we can send this one, and we can send this one, and well, we don't really care about this one. What we do care about, however, is now we need to take the non-archived stuff in the questions list where we are here. So right here, I actually want to have the active questions. So we could use selector, definitely. There should be another way, right? Or is use selector react redux. Deriving data from selectors. So yeah, so this is basically what we could do. The simplest one being const used or active questions is questions.filter. For each question, give me only those questions that are actually active. that have this function return true, meaning the active questions. And then we use active questions. That's one way. And it should actually work most of the time as well. Ooh, this is surprisingly long. So we can use selector. A selector function can be used anywhere you have access to the entire Redux root state value. This includes the useSelector hook, the map state function for connect middleware, thunk and sagas. For example, thunk and middlewares have access to the get state argument, so you can call a selector there. I think we're good, right? I think I will read this later, put it on the reading list. And because there seem to be some traps, and I don't want to run into the traps, of course. Otherwise, the optimization that we get from using the selector, so something that just picks out the right part from the state, is not really useful. To do read selector docs. There we go. However, we can use the active questions right here, and then we're done. So if I'm now so silly to go to happiness and I say archive question, it's gone. Gone forever. We will never see it again. Social, gone. Better, gone. So seems to be working. Still need to be slightly careful, but it does seem to work. So now we want to have a confirmation screen, so that when we click on this, it doesn't immediately do it, but instead asks you whether that's fine, the changes that you have. So we're going to go to React Native paper dialog. There we go. So for example, can we make this larger here? Like this. To continue, let your device turn on location, which uses Google's location service. And then we can click OK. This kind of confirmation screen is what I want to have. So I'm just going to copy all of this for now. And then we say archive confirmation dialog. .tsx. Bams. Archive confirmation dialog. Then we give it a function on confirm, and we give a function on cancel. No, on cancel we don't need, I think. Oh, we do. Because we have to have the state one level higher, I think. So probably these two functions, so show the dialog, the state will actually go one level up. Archive confirmation. visible. Let's give this some properties. Interface props. We have visible, which is a boolean. We have onConfirm, which is a function which receives, which maps to void. Oops. We have onCancel, which is a function that also maps to void. And then we move everything up to here. So this one becomes archive confirmation visible. Let's call this shown. And then we call this one show archive confirmation. And I think we just throw this inside of here. We say visible is equal to archive confirmation shown, and then on import first. You don't work. Boolean. Ah, because we didn't save it. That's why. Props, save. We don't need that one. We don't need the provider. We don't need the view. On dismiss. Cancel. Title. Archive question. Confirm archival, maybe. Do you really want to archive this question? Action on confirm. Confirm. And otherwise we have on cancel, which is cancel. And now we have this one here. On cancel is a function. Let's just mock it for now. On confirm, no operation. Ah, damn it. That wasn't what I wanted. So on press, we want to have here set show archive confirmation true. And on cancel, we want actually to just undisplay that one, right? Show archive confirmation false. There we go. Confirm archival. Do you really want to archive this question? Confirm. Cancel. Would have expected it to be next to each other. But anyway. On confirm, we want to do what this one does. So we archive the question and then we say show archive confirmation false. So we close the dialog. Ah. you really want to. So we can also click down here somewhere. We can also click cancel, and we can confirm. And once we've done that, we probably also want to go back to the previous screen. Oh, wow, that was a bit much. Meaning, archive question, confirm. Okay, that works. It's probably we probably jumped into a completely different screen just now here into dailies, because of the hot reloads and so on. I don't think that would happen on a normal phone. Confirm archival? No. So one thing that I'm slightly curious about is, I think we need this to be in another view, huh? No, it doesn't work. Move it there, right? And we say style equals flex direction row. Yep. Row reverse. Yeah, that's good. That's the way I like it. And then we say somewhere here, we say to do explain how to revert archival. And gone. Sweet. So that one works as well. Good job, everybody. Let's do some high fives here. If you want to do it as well, you can also !HF in the chat to do that. Actually, we have some more. Do they actually work? Yeah, they work. We're on fire! So feel free to play around with some of those nice little gimmicks. We also have I think !eyes or stars. I'm not sure. Or snow. Try a lot. I'm not sure which ones we have exactly. That looks good. That one looks good. That one looks good as well. Nice. Feature. Questions. Archival. So kind of temporarily permanent archival. Temporarily permanent because we do not have a screen to show a way to unarchive questions. Done. So that one's done. Next up, next thing I want to do is, first of all, let's look at our list. So we have archive a question from edit screen. Done. Shown only active questions in the question list. Done. Sweet. I think now if we so version A, we actually link this up. So currently the questions are not actually used in the rest of the app. In particular, the actual questions that you get here do not match what you have set in the other one. So as you can see, I still have the the 9 questions which are the default, we could link those up, and this way we get into production mode, kind of. It can be used, or we can start with a sorting. But I think so. Just the phrase that I just said now, we can get into production mode, means we can limit lead time if we link things up, which means that's this part here. Let's call this linking or integration. Use the questions from the store inside the dailies and I think the statistics screen. So, come on. So, because we can reduce lead time, that's what we are going to do. Do we have any disadvantages if we do not have sorting at that point? I don't think we do. Worst case is people add stuff, notice they cannot add it or resort them, and then they just remove them. Or they remove other questions so that the sorting is working out eventually. Which means this won't hurt us. Disallowing empty question title. Yeah, we might want to do that. And uniqueness is actually also important. If not, I think I'll do that one alone. That's boring. Which means, let's do the integration part. So all of these questions should be displayed here inside of the dailies. And we're gonna get to that in just about 1 to 2 minutes. So be right back. All right, thanks for staying with me. And now we're going to do some integrations. Taking the stuff that's here, which is already in the global store, so we already pretty much have access to it inside of here, and then changing these questions. The possibly hard part about this is that the dailies are actually not, so everything that's inside of this dailies part, this part here, has not been designed to use with Redux. Which means there might be some surprises here. We might also be lucky, but don't expect it. So we have summary screen, default questions, state.route index, blah blah blah, default questions.length. Yeah, we have a custom navigation inside of here. Not sure whether we want to actually switch. Which I think we could pull off if we wanted to. Yeah, which I do think we could pull off now that I have a bit more experience with, oh, I remember more of React Native navigation at least. But let's stick with what we have for now. And all we need to do, I think, is change those default questions in its very first iteration, at least. We do the following. We have to link this one up into Redux. Even though this one says reducer, it's actually not using Redux at this point. This is completely React. Oh, sorry, React. Pronunciation was off there. Which means what we do is we go somewhere where we have the easy part of React. Here, for example. Where's my nav? Questions nav, dailies nav. There we go. And then so import that one. We get all the questions. And we might as well filter it right here instead. Q.active. We import some stuff. Props from Redux is just a helper, which we can then use inside of to get better TypeScript help, like so. And now we all of a sudden we have questions inside of here. And with questions, we can just replace default questions with questions. Do we have it anywhere else? Apparently we do. Ah, yeah. Oh, and now we get into trouble. The good thing. We have an initial state. Where does this initial state come from? It doesn't include the questions. So we have default questions here, but it's outside of the component. We shouldn't just pull it inside of there, should we? I don't think we should. So the obvious solution would be to do something like this, and now we're in the context, and we could replace default question by question. But I think this might actually, A, it's ugly, and B, it might actually cause trouble, if I'm not mistaken. It might actually cause trouble. Although I'm not 100% sure whether it actually really does cause trouble. Another way would be to, instead of making this into a reducer, we do a reducer factory. Ugh. Ugh. This is a function which receives questions. Actually, it just needs a length. Question count, which is a number, maps to what he says, is equal to a function that receives question count, and then we replace this fun stuff, and we say, I think here +1 now. Wait, no. Oh no. Like so. -1. Yeah, I think it's the same. Then we say reducer factory of questions dot length. Most likely there's a better way to do this, but it just and in particular we're not using the navigation that we actually have available to us. So at some point we might want to switch or remove the custom navigation that we have and instead do it with a navigation library, which I only added later. So this is kind of legacy code that we have to fiddle around with now. And I don't want to do the complete refactoring now. So if we're lucky, this might actually work. If we are lucky. What are your experiences with use reducer from React? I think it's the first time, or maybe the second time, they've actually have used it in code. Have you used it before? If so, what were your experience with it? So let's see. Why is visible true here? Okay, I don't know. So now we pass in the questions. We get the questions thanks to Redux. Oh, we don't get them, because down here we have to actually to wrap the function again, the component again. Now, this thing gets from up above, from Redux, from the store provider, it gets the current state, which includes questions, and it calls this function, which then picks us the active questions. And then we do the custom navigation on top of that. So if we're lucky, this is it. So which ones do we actually have? Come on, come on, come on. There we go. So we have goals, we have responsibility, and we have improvement. So goals is there. We next have responsibility. We next have improvement. And summary screen probably dies terribly. Default? Oh no! It might actually work. Done. And I suppose this looks all right as well, but I cannot really see. We don't have anything set up to actually see the message, unfortunately. I think we can copy it and then paste it into our add new question, pull question, paste. There, this is what it looks like. Works. We did it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Good job, everybody. It works. It might not be perfect, but let's say it's the least amount of work that we needed to do to make it work at this point. Sweet. And if we add a new question, let's see. Now we get into trouble, I think. Do we? We might lose the state. The current state of the dailies might get lost if we do this here now. So say we have title. Or worse, it doesn't get lost. That would be worse. Question engagement. Did I do my best to be fully engaged today? Question mark. It's a points question. Create dailies. Oh, it's just empty. But we cannot navigate to it. Oh, is navigation broken? Ah, we cannot navigate to it. At the when I edited it, improvement of, let's say, ASDF. Create. No. Come on. Come on. So go here. Now we currently can navigate. So once we went there, everything is fine. But if I do it vice versa, yeah, we cannot click on it. The navigation is broken for that case. I think we do that as a to-do. First of all, to-do fix nav when questions, or fix dailies nav when questions change during the dailies reproduction. Do dailies up to summary screen. Add a question, go back to summary screen. Observed, cannot navigate to new question. Expected, can navigate to new question. Can we find out why this doesn't work? Maybe. So this summary screen receives questions from up above. Start. History slice. Okay. Well, that's a terrible name. So why can we not click this? Where's this button anyway? Where is this button anyway? So we have questions and we map over all of them, and on click we say navigate to I. We also do not use any IDs. Yeah, okay. So this comes from the navigation, and the navigation is passed from up above, I suppose. Down here, type nav of index. Change this for just a moment. Yeah, stage this. So if we click this, we should what should happen to the state of the current dailies? That's actually the fundamental question. It also happens if we go and edit a question. I think then it's fine, huh? Then it should be fine to leave it. But if we add a new question, we probably want to restart the complete dailies, I would expect. I think the reason why it doesn't work is most likely that this function doesn't get recalled. This reducer factory is not being recalled, most likely. Let's try to find out. Not the simplest one, but console.log user factory questions count. So let's fix it for just a moment. Done. We go here, we add a new question. Done. We go back to the dailies and we already have question count 7. So it does get recalled. And if we click on this, oh, it gets recalled every time. That's not ideal, right? That's not what should happen, I don't think. It's basically... Are we not allowed to call any functions right here? That would be annoying. What do we want to do if questions change? That's the big question. What do we expect the dailies to do when questions change, when the underlying questions change? That's the big question that we have to answer here. So what do you guys think? What should happen? Resetting? Resetting would be I would say, a reasonable approach. At least when the number of questions change. So if we call archive, or if we call add, it should be reset. If we call edit, we might be able to just say, okay, everything is fine. Don't worry about it. We just change the text, essentially. That seems to be reasonable. So A, reset all, reset everything in dailies. B, if a question was added or archived, reset everything, otherwise keep the state, but change the texts. C, ignore. Ignore is not ideal. You can already tell. Because people need to restart their app to fix it. Essentially, if I swipe this away and restart my app, now it's fixed, I think. Anybody? Hello guys, do you have experience with regular expressions? I have a little problem, thanks. So the question is, what is the problem? I have worked with regular expression, and probably some other people have as well. Do you know regex 101? It's the go-to solution for me. You basically put in your regex, and they also tell you, or you can just pick, for example, I want only, well, I want to have a start. Where's it? Start of string. So I do this at first. Can I paste my code? Yeah, that should, if you paste it here, that should be fine. So we can try to put this right here and then figure out what you're trying to match. So probably numbers. Oh, it even says what it's doing. Can you see here? An example, this one. Let's say hello. Apparently hello doesn't match. We put any number that doesn't match. It has to start with a minus. Is that a minus at the beginning? Which is the character dot. Is that a dot dot? What kind of character is this at the beginning? Is it a space? It's a space, okay. Yeah, I see. they just rendered as a dot, which totally confused me right now. So we can remove that one. This seems to be matching. This one also seems to be matching, at least. You're really new to it. Yeah, so regex 101. Did I paste it? I wanted to paste it. That's the go-to solution that I and a lot of other people use. But when I add one more number, it should not work. Yeah, so let's try to figure out down here. I think you can say, so it should end. So you can just say, well, the things should end. End of string. It should be I think it should be $. And if it should start, not quite sure what this means. If it should start, start of string, you're using this here. So you can do this at the very beginning, and all of a sudden only this one matches. And if I add another number, this one does not match anymore. So yeah, so you want to allow another space inside. Let's look for white space. white space, any white space character, \s, \s, and then we can dot star to have any character. Dot star is just any character. I think we also have that here. Any single character, any white space character. Where do we have the dot star? Dot star? Not there. Try to add some number to this one. This one doesn't match. Yeah, so this one is really cool. The reference is slightly hard to read, I find, right now. I think you don't have to click on it, probably. White space. White space. Yeah, here they show you what the character is, and then they give you an example right here. Up here they say what's the matching thingy. Can you do this one too? Before the numbers? I think it should not work, because we have this one here. It matches at the very beginning. Should this one work? Oh, there's a space. This one should work. We can probably take what we have here. So we take... we can do... We have to dot star. No, now it's matching everything. It's an insurance number. I see. Let's see. So these should... Now I broke something. Now this one is matching as well, right? What did I change? This one is fine. Oh, this one is still a match. Shouldn't we be able to force it? Now something is definitely broken. I think we were at this point. What is matching? This one actually matches twice. And this is a single match, huh? Because it's matching the new line. We want only space, not white space. Not any white space. We want to have the space character. Like this? No. Instead of \s. No, that one doesn't work. Oh, there's this. That one seems to work now. And this one has to actually be made optional as well. The first one should be a match. Yeah, this one makes sense. Unfortunately, it matches together. Because it matches the... We have two matches. I think because it's dot star, we can have... Maybe dot star is too much, probably. any word. Wait, we don't need the dot star, do we? So you only want the number, right? Yeah. And now we want also these. So isn't this what you had at the very beginning? Isn't this exactly what you had? So you were kind of already there. I think that this is what you had at the beginning. I think all we did was remove the question mark. And that one. It seems to be working. What you had. So good job on solving the problem. We had this kind of thing, right? The word should end. So we allow, okay. This one is bad. This one is also bad. Yeah. Do we also need the slashes? It should only work with slash, right? Slash is optional. Okay. Okay, I see. That's why you have this here, right? So you want to have end of word. End of word. A word boundary. That seems to be okay. Or at least it moves us a little further. Because this one is not matching anymore. But this one is. And do we have start of word as well? Start of word. Start of string. Like so. The backslash b's in both. At the beginning and at the end. Let this be. So I added this backslash b, which is a word boundary. Let's look at an example. You cannot see this part. Oh, Jesus Christ. My bad. So I'm looking at this. Come on. Chrome, are you kidding me? Yeah. I'm reading the documentation down here, which is not visible if I do this. Start of word. Yeah, word boundary. Matches without consuming any characters. Immediately between a character matched by backslash w, which is I think white space, and a character not matched by, oh no, this is word, I think. What is backslash w? Any word character. If you give me examples, I can do them. I can put them in. That's the simplest way. Because I don't know what you exactly need. This one does not match currently. If I do something like that, it also doesn't match. We do this. It also doesn't match. It has to be 6 numbers at the end, huh? So, this one, we add a 1 up there, or a 9. Doesn't merge. You deserve a follow. Thank you. Yeah. So I sent this to you. You pretty much had it.
Joined our tea time.
It seems to be the \b for a word boundary. Maybe. So good job, first of all, on giving me 90% or 99% probably of the word. Is a zero width test between two characters. Regex tutorial. Oh, this page. 1990s. You're welcome. Thanks for the follow, by the way. Welcome to our tea time. Enjoy. Glad you are here, and thanks for asking the questions. Let's drink some more tea. Yeah. So regex can be a bitch. This is a really, really nice website, and there are regex tester online. If you Google for that, you find a lot of those. There's some more here apparently. I find regex 101 to be the best one for my purposes, at least. So yeah, this page deserves a like as well, or a bookmark at least. Glad I could be of help. This is, by the way, putting all of this fun stuff into tests, unit tests, is a great way to actually confirm that nobody fiddles around with the regex, and your regex actually matches. You got your first job. Oh, congratulations! Nice. She is on you. It's fucking hard. Yeah. Please rewrite it with, and it's really hard. Yeah. The bot. It's fine. There we go. I hope I didn't add that now to the list. It's really enjoyably hard. Do you know Dwarf Fortress? Dwarf Fortress is a game with ASCII art. It looks like this or more like this, and it's a complete adventure. And if you don't know what's going on, it's really hard to say, but actually they have like vegetation here. This is water. These are stockpiles, and so on. And these are, I think, stairs maybe. And there are people, actually, dwarfs running around. And then they have fun. Fun. Redirect to losing. Losing is fun is the sentence they have. Either way, it keeps you busy. So because it's a really hard game, you will eventually die, in a sense. But that's also fun, or part of the fun of the game. Is this actually a picture from Crux Smash? Yeah, it is. Wow. Sweet. Nice. Yeah. Dwarf Fortress is one of my favorite games, by the way. Crux Smash. Currently, he's not doing too much, unfortunately. But he's a YouTuber who's using this as a story device and drawing the fun stuff that they have. So if you haven't heard about him, check him out if you're into indie gaming. It takes a bit of time to get used to. You're a game addict too. Nice. What kind of games are you playing? Very interested in that. For me, currently, I'm back actually to Tropico. The very, very first Tropico. I actually got that one. It is kind of one of my favorite games ever. CSGO. Yeah. Nice. So on the action side. So let's close that one down. Nice. So also competitive, because that's where it gets really, really hard, right, on CSGO. I suppose that's probably what you're referring to. Player versus player. So what do we expect the dailies to do when the underlying questions change? A, we reset everything inside of here. So when we customize a question, we add a new one, we just reset everything. The complete state gets reverted. Another option would be if it's edited or archived, only then reset everything. Otherwise, so kind of the approach, keep as much as possible unless it's just too hard. We can also just ignore it, which I don't think is a real solution, because this will happen. And the other one is give the user the option to reset everything. Then again, thinking about it, these questions should take like 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes. Every day you do them. Losing 2 minutes of your progress, in particular if you have already thought about the questions, it's not really losing progress. So I think we go with this one. I think we go with this one. Yeah. Take this one. Do this. Reason. Losing progress means at most, usually means at most 2 minutes of time lost, which is okay. And plus, questions aren't changed regularly, I don't think. It's more like a 1 time or 2 times a year thing. Maybe at the beginning a bit more often when you start out with it. You'll go back to work. Yep. Enjoy the time. Thanks for the follow again. Come back. When I'm back online. Would love to see you again. Have a nice one. Any bullock. Like. Let's check the time here quickly. 13 o'clock. So we have our decision. Let's keep this as a log, kind of. Problem. Oh boy. Problem. What do we expect the dailies to do when the underlyings change? And we have decided for A, which means, let's zoom out a bit. Is the state that we usually have? I think so. So that means yeah, that's still to do. That means Bum, 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 bum. We do we want to add the stuff to Redux? Currently, we're managing answers here. Oh, things get complicated. This would be a larger refactoring item, I think. This would be a larger refactoring, which I don't want to do now, to be honest. So, what do we have currently? Currently, we have a working solution which uses the questions, which is good. And I think we're good with that. So, kind of a feature. Dailies use the customized questions for dailies. Done. And then let's go to the stats, because here we have to do the same, I think. Type of default question, no. We do question array. And my music just ended. Let's restart here. That one. Let's see. Yeah, let's listen to this one. All right. Somewhere here we have default questions, I think. There it is. So questions. We go. Oh, this one also called each time? No, it's not, right? Just called once, apparently. We use questions here, we use questions there. Can we already get rid of default questions? We can, nice. Then we use questions here, which use this one. And we're good. Are we good? Are we good? We might be good. So we have to mock it. Let's see. So let's go into the experimental mode here. Now we have some more stuff available. Oh, would you look at that? Where do all of these come from? So default questions should actually be used only in one place, which is the slice. But instead we also have it here, which is not what we want. Oh no, this one is fine. This one is actually fine. So why does it render so much? Statistics screen. The good news is, it didn't break. Number one, it didn't break. Number two, it renders a bit too much, if I may say so. So somewhere we have the graph selector. Selected questions is here. get all selected questions. We have to filter. We have to filter these questions by active. Filter q maps to q.active. Maybe I need to rerun. Yes, that one worked. And if I customize a question, for example, I remove ASDF, goodbye ASDF. You have it served as well, and I remove also FSADD and 756. Go back to statistics. It doesn't re-render. Is it an issue? Does it? Is it an issue that we filter inside of here? Wait. This one doesn't let rerun. Hey, welcome back. It's a one without space too. Yeah. So you can in regex you can say you already. Sorry, but I won't allow this one. So you can have an or, also for the /b, I think. Should work without space too. Which space? It does work without a space, right? Didn't it? I think it worked without spaces too. You can try it. Not for you. You tried it with regex 101. Well, if you tried it, it probably won't work for me either. Can you give me an example? Which one didn't work for you? Oh, this one should work as well. But why? First question I would ask now to your colleague is this really a use case? This looks more like a bug on another end. It looks like a bug on another end. And I wouldn't build my solution many emails. I see. And you already have the emails, huh? Then what was wrong with your original solution? What was wrong with your original solution? Is then the question. Like so? But that's exactly what's happening here, right? Except that these are characters instead of numbers. By the way, so since this is your first job, don't worry about not knowing something. Part of your first job, or main part, in fact, of your first job, I think, is learning how things work. And sometimes you just get stuck, in particular with something fiddly as regex. It's totally fiddly. Even me, I just have to figure out, fiddle around with it here. Oh, yeah. So I think you can forbid numbers. Forbid or not. Character in the range. So you could use this to forbid numbers after this, probably. Is it 0 to 9? One. Okay, that one doesn't work apparently. Ah, now this one does not match, but this one still. Why does it do the D? Ah, I shouldn't use the D. Right. Ah, now I get the... Right. Was it? It matches the D, unfortunately. And you need to get rid of the D. Oh, here it explains actually what you're doing. Nice. Not capturing this group. Match a single character not present in the list. Yeah. This one is slightly off. So apparently this one actually matches the character, but you want to have everything before that match except when it has this character after that. Group construct, meta sequences, negation. Yeah. What is a non-capturing group? Which is a previous token between 0. We have to do something like this, maybe? Oops. No. I don't even know what the question mark colon is. I don't know what a non-capturing group is. Is it? Ah, there's a space up there. Yeah. Yeah, so there's still... Try to fiddle around with it, I think. I don't know the solution either at this point. We should match when there is a character and when there is not a character. So I don't know, maybe like regex either or. It blows my mind. Keep well, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Regex can be bitchy. Regex can definitely bitchy. But this is definitely a tool. I mean, the part of being a programmer is finding solutions to stuff that you don't know, right? Stack Overflow also helps you. Google stuff, and then how do you match one of two words in a regular expression? Stuff like this. Or maybe that one works. Can we go back? Might be actually able to do either this one or everything with a /b at the end. How do you do that? With a colon, with a pipe. So this one doesn't match too much, right? Was it? Not even regex? I can't see anything anymore. Yeah. Keep at it. Also, don't feel ashamed to ask your question, ask your partners. I don't think your teammates are there to help. And you've got it this far, in particular. Matching the no one knows regex. Absolutely, absolutely. What is Power Apps? Haven't heard of that one. Just then. Microsoft Power Apps. Sorry that it's in they automatically translated into German, unfortunately. ENUS. Or just EN? No. Uniqua. Okay, nice. Now everybody can build quickly and share low-code apps with Microsoft Power Apps. I think it's like Honeycode from AWS. AWS Honeycode versus Microsoft Power Apps. There it is. I was totally interested in this, but not as interested to actually do it, unfortunately, because I was preparing for my exam, for my AWS exam at that point, and Honeycode was just starting out in beta, so it wasn't on the exam, and I had to decide, while it was looking totally interesting to not code that much and be able to write complete apps, particular mobile apps for your team. It's pain. Okay, why is it pain? Where could it be better? Why do you feel not enough resources? It's slow, you mean? Or you mean like not enough documentation and tutorials and stuff on the internet? I suppose. Yeah, that can be annoying. In fact, when me and my team, or the teams that I work with, when we're deciding for a particular library, one of the main reasons to decide for a specific library is how much support from the community is there. Because it's just so useful to be able to ask on Stack Overflow and get a question within 20 minutes or an hour or at least a day, compared to libraries that don't have that much support. And then you sit there 3 months later, you maybe have an answer, but probably you don't have any answer. So looking at the downloads and how large the community is actually one factor, at least I and the teams I've worked with use to determine which technology to use. So yeah, I understand that can be a real troublemaker. But I didn't have much job opportunities, so I took this. You will be. If this is your first job, it will be your kickstart. As soon as you have something on your CV, and I'm sure you already learned so much in that company, right? Teamwork, communication, actually getting your hands on a real life project, which is just so much larger compared to a regular project which you do on your own, right? Or a private project. Study in the meantime on university. Oh wow! So on the sidelines, you're actually working already. That's rough. it can be a lot of pressure and time, very, very time consuming. Right? No life. Yeah. The smiley. Anyway, where were we? I think we decided for the solution. Was I about to commit? I think I did. I was. I was about to try to understand why this is not updating. Currently, I think it's because question does not, even if question change, this is not recalled. Yeah, nice to meet you too. Thanks for hanging out. Please come back and tell other people also around the TypeScript tea time. Yeah, where we're doing TypeScript, fun stuff, doing some gaming, just having a nice chat, and also find out about the other streamers on Twitch, because I'm doing some shoutouts also all the time. So if you like Pro Singularity, for example, is one of the people that I can recommend. Not sure, your name sounds a bit Indian, so if I'm wrong, please correct me. So I suppose Finite Singularity might be Slovakia. So Finite is on your timetable as well. Finite is streaming at. Why he is American. He has very, very European friendly time. Yeah, I'm German. Do I have an accent? I suppose every German has an accent, right? You notice. Yeah, I try to keep it low, but from time to time it does appear. I'm German. Anyway, Finite doing also some TypeScript stuff in Angular, but also doing Python with his actual work project, which is one thing that is rare, I find. Actually seeing production code, well, he's only working on it on his own with it, but he's working on it like several years, and it's used actually in production for a construction company. And we can watch him look at his code, try to solve problems with him, learn from him. Lots of fun. And you also see it's just a nice community with Finite and the other guys. So check him out as well. We were about to find out why this is not working. I think the reason this is not working is because this function doesn't get recalled to redo the selected questions, which is annoying. So we have a state that is derived from the props, and it should change whenever thank you. Nice, I appreciate it. Let's take a quick look here. React state depending on props. Oh, get derived state from props? No, I don't want to do that. Should be noted that this is an anti-pattern. copy properties that never change to the state. Hours change. Use state depends on, whoops, that's not what I wanted. I'm so used to click to using Control D, because here in VS Code you can mark a complete word with it and then jump to the next occurrence of that word as well and mark it too. That I always try to use that also in Chrome, for example, but here it's adding a bookmark. How to sync prop to state here. So what he is using is that he's copying the user props, but he's expecting the state to reload as props change. Yeah, pretty much what we want. Instead, we need to use effect. Oh, okay. That's simple enough. So if we need to use effect, if the prop, I think we did that yesterday, now that I think about it. If questions change, we just reselect all of them. And we just do this, I think. Yeah. Is that it? Oh no, it broke. It's broken. It's broken. I cannot navigate it at all anymore. Am I allowed to call this here? It's probably better to just copy this function. So this is reload selected questions every time questions change. For example, from adding a new question. So let's try that. We say hello. First question, did I do my best to say hello to people? Create. Come on, do the swipey thingy. There we go. Go to the statistics. And there it is. Oh, but it doesn't work. Things are broken. Oh, whoa. What happened? Huh? Things are not working. Time span is not affected by this. That's a completely different thingy. But now it's broken. Why? And what is exactly broken? Me is confused. Me is confused. Oh, probably because it's empty. The history does not include the history does not include history does not include the new question that we've just added, which means that data set is empty. Which means, oops, that's the wrong one. Ah, down here. If we go to the chart, we might need to remove the time series then, if the history is empty. Let's see here. Log J, datasets, save. And maybe we reload. And if we go to statistics now, data 0, 0, 0. What's wrong with this? Nothing is interactable currently. Not even the clear history. Give me 1 minute here, and I'll be right back to you. And back we are. So somehow time series history.map over the entries, questions, find me the questions with the ID and give me that answer. And usually I don't write this kind of code, but in fact this is space critical, which means I really only have like 2 megabytes, and this is about 4, 5, 6 years of actually using the app, depending on how much data you actually put in the site. So this actually needed to be very, very small. And not writing answer or questions completely every day for 365 days a year takes me quite a bit of bytes, which sounds terrible. And usually I don't like this, but in this case I had to do it, unfortunately. So if that doesn't work, give me the number 0. So the time series just becomes 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So So I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside of there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking good. Engagement is empty, hello is empty. That's exactly what I would expect. And we see it actually also rendered correctly. So why is it not working? Why is it not interactable anymore? Oh, this is called every time. We want this to be questions. Is it interactable now? The second argument of use effect is basically deciding when this is going to be reloaded. So every time questions change, this function now gets called again. Full stop. This function gets called again. Oh, it's so terribly slow. What is happening? Wow. Wow, this is not normal. Not the way it should be. We do now actually filter for the here. Active questions. And why is it so terribly slow? I mean, it wasn't so terribly slow like a couple of minutes ago. Huh. Hmm. 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 So without this, it seems okay-ish. Without the use effect. With the use effect, however, it becomes incredibly sluggish. Or even like this, it's like terrible. Just imagine having this for a complete lifetime. What happened? Is it the chart that's so slow? So this one can be optimized. because it's now not finding it. And it's not finding it, but for each, it's going through the whole list of questions. Oh, wait, what? Oh, that's new. Wow, this is so terribly slow. Oh. Data sets don't change, right? Oh, they do. The values don't change, but which ones are actually displayed do change. We cannot really control which ones to show and which ones not to show. Man. Selected questions. Give me all those that are checked. Then, oh, this is so complicated. What have I done here? Each entry in the history. This is the actual values. So it's the number 2222242 in this case for improvement. But down here for hello, it's a number 1111111. The underlying problem might be the following. We have a mismatch between how we use the data, how we use the historic data. We render it basically in slices. Like we render the complete chart for engagement, for example, or we render the complete chart for goals. So for each day, we have the value for goal. But the way we save it inside of history is not in slices. We instead save it by day. And then for that day, we have each question. Oh, you know what would help? Making the history an object instead. Then we don't use finds. It's a map. So we basically have a map. That would mean we have to redefine our data model. But it might actually be worth it. So for each day we can just, with linear time, with constant time, access the specific entry. And that should speed up things quite a bit, I hope. From squared we go to, from n squared we go to n essentially. Well, n times n we go to n. Although it's still ridiculous that this is causing time issues. Let us maybe console.log console.start time what was it? Console time, start and end. Time of label. Can we have an example? Time end. Okay, thank you. Console.time, console.time end. Let's see whether this is really causing the issues. This is definitely not good. Because I saved before it was an actual thing. Does that work? Oh, console.time does not exist on. Damn it. Okay. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. Because we're in React Native, it doesn't exist apparently. Console.log new date dot to either string, or maybe we just say const start is equal to new date, and then at end we say console.log new date dot get time minus start.getTime. This gives out the milliseconds, I think milliseconds, it takes for it to render. Zero. Got me. So it takes no time whatsoever. Seriously? That means the problem is not it's not that function. It takes 2 milliseconds. This is not our problem then. If it takes 2 milliseconds for it to re-render, we don't care. Oh, this one was a bit longer. Four milliseconds. So this one is not the problem, I don't think. This one doesn't seem to be the problem at all. Use effect is not defined. Log use effect called. So I want to see how often this gets actually called. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. And I gotta run in just about a minute. So it was called once. Now if I click anything, it does not get called again. What is taking so long? Me is confused. I am very confused. Unfortunately, I gotta run. We weren't quite able to finish it at this point. Kind of still in between. But I have to run now. In any event, I thank you so much for joining. I might actually stream this evening again at 18 o'clock. So, but don't rely on it too much. Let's take a double check on what we have here. We are currently working on the integration into the dailies and into other stores. So which means and stats, because there is no other screen. That's where we got kind of stuck on the route. I'm not quite sure where we are actually stuck. If I add this, I go to statistics. Hey, this now works. It's a bit slow. Oh, now it's broken. No, it's not. Ah. I'm not 100% sure where it's getting the slowness, where it's getting so slow. But in any event, I thank you so much for joining. Hope to see you next time in the TypeScript Tea Time. I'm your host, Mirko. I wish you an awesome, beautiful, and happy day. Yeah, and thank you so much for joining. Let's see, maybe we can rate somebody, but probably at this point nobody's there. Oh, Adam C. Eunice is again online, just like yesterday. Let's move in there. He's a streamer working on this game, Insignium, I think. Insignia. And whenever I'm back to doing some pixel art, I always watch his YouTube videos. So, take care everybody, and have a good one. Bye bye.